Thank you, everyone, for listening to Wild Seed the podcast. This is Danny Smith, and today's guest is Rosie Rourke. Rosie Rourke is a local real estate agent, community activist, and loving mother and wife. Fresh out of high school, she entered the competitive world of commercial real estate before making the switch to residential work 10 years later. Today, she is the managing broker and leader of the Rosie Rourke team, top real estate team in Southeast King County and top 1% nationally. She's got a heart for service work, advocacy, and she loves to give back to her community. I've had the pleasure of working with Rosie as a board member of the Renton Chamber of Commerce and the Renton Rotary Club. She's gracing with her vulnerability, her goodness, and with her charm. It's no surprise for me to learn that in 2020, King County Council member Reagan Dunn announced that October 31st was officially Rosie Rourke Day in King County. It's my sincere pleasure to welcome my friend and colleague, Rosie Rourke, to the show today. Thank you, Rosie.
You're welcome. I love that I'm here with you.
Of course. Okay, so getting started, and just because I'm really curious, how many homes do you think that you've sold in your career?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we could add up on average, probably 130 a year times 28 years. What do we come up with? Can you do the math in your head? I certainly can't.
130 a year. Hold on, I'm pulling out a calculator.
And I like to call them not homes or closings, but families. How many families have I helped?
So that's 3,640. That's about that much.
That's exhausting.
It could be more. It could be less. I mean, that's a blessing.
It's such a blessing. I'm grateful that I get to do what I love and follow my passion.
Okay. And then you've seen a lot transpire in real estate market over the last several decades, and you've still maintained your business. What's the difference between craft versus endurance in real estate?
I think you have to endure so much at the beginning of your career to learn your craft.
Okay.
For my definition, a craft would be I'm perfecting it. You never get perfection, then it would be boring. But being able to specialize in certain areas or be able to teach what I do to the people that are in the industry, that's an even better way for me to learn the craft at its finest. I feel like craft to me means you made it.
Okay. But you feel like you've had to endure first
you have to
in order to build the craft.
And I've played every position in a real estate transaction. I've had to be the one that was a solo agent that wore all the hats. That's where you learn everything.
Right.
To having a team member who can help me as an assistant, and then that can get me more in tune with what buyers and sellers need, and then bringing on team members. Now I don't have to do what I had to endure of working with escrow and title and lenders and all those things and showing the houses and going to the appointments. I have other team members that can do that for us. And now I can do the favorite parts of engaging with the business community, doing our events. That to me is that's my craft.
Okay. How did you have the wherewithal to say, okay, I know that I'm enduring now and I need to perfect this? At what point did you shift into that?
Leverage.
Okay.
I shifted into that when I got to a point where I felt like I was missing so much with my boys. So I raised two sons that now one just turned 21 and the other one's 23 going on 24. I had them while I was doing real estate. And so I feel like I missed quite a bit of being able to go to their baseball games or the awards that they got at school or, you know, some of the special times that they wanted to go to the zoo and things like that. But I had to work. Putting work in quotations, though, because I feel like I'm not working when I'm engaging with other people and helping them accomplish what they want to accomplish and have home ownership. But you know, you got work to do, and it's taking me away from my family time. There was a switch of me thinking, if I had somebody who can help me, I can do both. I can be at my son's games, and somebody else is showing the houses for me. Okay. Somebody else is taking the phone calls for me, and I'm not missing it. So it was that crossroads where I felt like it was time to...
How old were they?
This is such a good question because I know exactly. My youngest was in second grade, and he did a Mother's Day card. And it said, the kids had to do this exercise for Mother's Day, and said, what is your favorite thing that your mom loves to do? what's your favorite thing for your mom?
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote winning awards.
Oh, wow.
That is so not my favorite thing.
Yeah, but that's what he saw.
That's what he saw.
Okay, yeah.
At that point, I said,
Mm-hmm.
I better make a change. I'm going to miss it. Yeah.
Okay.
Immediately, I figured out how to create a team.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the better for it.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you think that you've had to work hard to validate yourself throughout your career? Like, what has that looked like?
Every single day. Are you kidding? Everyone knows a real estate agent.
Yeah.
So I always am having to interview. Every time I go somewhere, it's an interview.
For a client?
For a client.
Okay.
Yeah. Or even to impress upon people I meet because you don't know if they're going to be a client. I always say I get paid to socialize.
Yeah.
As I'm talking to people and engaging with people, I hope that one day they'll think of me if they need help buying and selling.
Yeah.
So I always have my best foot forward, which I think is a good way to live your life anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What about being a woman in real estate?
I think the majority of our industry for residential real estate sales are women.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's a fabulous thing because we're very intuitive.
I agree.
And in tune with how does a family want to function in this house, forward thinking. We're not just looking at the shop or the garage.
Yeah.
I started an all-woman team not on purpose, but it gravitated towards that because we need extra help and leadership to see what we can do. We need to see the inspiration to get to being a solo agent to building a big business and building your craft. And I think there's a lot of limiting beliefs in women. So when I was in commercial real estate, it was definitely men who overpowered the industry, not women. And in fact, if I was doing my job just like the men were doing their job when I did real estate for 10 years in commercial, I'm considered the B word because I'm aggressive, going after what I want. But yet, when the man does it, he's applauded. And, making deals over cigars and whiskey for the men, that's that world. And that was a catalyst for me saying, I want to get into residential. I want to help families. And it was a complete shift. And I blossomed. I wish I would have done it a lot sooner.
Well, I think you learned a lot in that 10 years that you still stayed because I feel like it did help you to be the person that
job.
you are today, for sure.
Every job I've done helped me to be the person I am. Absolutely. Including my first job at Wendy's.
We'll talk more about that. Okay, so I heard you speak to Jason Abrams on his podcast about how you grew your farm. Can you explain the concept of the farm?
A farm is a word that is used in real estate. And what it means is if you can pick a territory, a small territory, like a neighborhood. I live in Fairwood Greens.
Yeah.
So if I chose Fairwood Greens as my neighborhood farm, I'm going to start planting seeds, nurturing that neighborhood, giving them what they need in food and water and nourishment in the hopes of they'll remember me when they think about buying or selling in Fairwood Greens. That's why it's called a farm.
Okay. Is this a Keller Williams
No,
idea?
it's a real estate term. It's a real estate lingo.
Okay, got it. All right. And so how many people are on your team? You said you had
I have 8 on my team.
All right.
4 are out in the field producers.
Okay.
And we represent buyers and sellers. And the rest are on our admin team that have client care.
And then the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. I know you've read this before.
Yes.
Is that required reading for your whole team? Your Bible. You're going to have to read this.
Yes.
Why was it so impactful for you?
It changed the trajectory of my business for real. And what I was searching for, I was with another competing company for 25 years, another brokerage house. And I did well, and I have nothing bad to say about that company at all. I love that company still to this day. I feel like they're my family.
Yeah.
But what they were lacking is team structure. And I had to make things up on how this feels right. Let's try this. Nope, that was a mistake. I didn't want to have to do that anymore. So it was either going to be going out to find coaching to get that done or change brokerages where they had the systems and models. Luckily, Keller Williams had both. So I have state-of-the-art coaching from the top leadership team at Keller Williams, as well as following the systems and the models talked about and explained in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book.
Did you have mentorship when you first started? Like someone was guiding you through the process, even when you how many years ago? Yeah.
Yeah, I had a mentor my first year in the business.
Okay.
And so you get connected with a mentor. Not every company works that way. And then you give a piece of the commission until you've done so many deals, and then you get to fly free. But I've found for the most part in all of the real estate industry, such a giving place, masterminding, brainstorming. We all want each other to succeed. And that's for the most part. There are, the outlying areas of people that don't feel that way. But I feel like I love this community, and it's a small community. We need each other.
Did that inspire you to mentor others that
Absolutely.
are not even in? Explain that to me.
I think I just have always had a servant heart. My mom was always the chairperson of this and the chairperson of that, and running the lodge and having a women's tea fashion party. And I was always the one helping her and, watching her do that. And I love it. Yeah. I understand it's not for everybody. For me, it feeds my soul.
Right. No, I think you're great at it too, by the way.
Thank you.
Like, I'm like, and sometimes you'll just give a little nugget here and there to other people. And like, to me, that's still like mentorship and giving and things like that too. So I appreciate you because you're a mentor to me. I don't know if you see that, but you are. Aww. Okay. So switching gears a little bit, because I want to talk more about who Rosie is outside of the workplace. So do you ever look back and view your accomplishments, like all the things that you've done?
It's been quite the journey, and I'm actually really proud of myself.
Yeah, I'm proud of you too.
Thank you.
Yeah, but do you ever like look back and like all these awards that you have? And I walked into the room, it's like, oh, there's these words out here, and like, what do all those things mean to you?
That means how many families.
Yeah,
I've helped so many families. A lot of times what I'm doing throughout the year is it's just one family at a time. And then I lift my head up and go, oh, wait, we sold more to families than anybody else. I didn't know that. I'm not paying attention to what other people's businesses are. Yeah. We're just focused on our own business. And I think it validates that we bring value and people want to share our information with their friends and family so they can have the same experience. And I feel like that's what we do. We give an experience. It's not just a one and done. I want to earn your business and your friends and family's business.
If you could like summarize the experience, like what do you think that's like? I know but because you're giving it, you're not like receiving it. Does that make sense?
I created something that was missing when I bought my house. And I thought to myself, before I was even a real estate agent for residential real estate, I was buying a brand new house, first time with my husband. And it was our first house. And I thought, I've never heard from the agent. I had to keep calling and saying what's going on. I didn't know where I was going. What was the next step? I thought there has to be a better way. Is that really how real estate is done? Yeah. And that's when I decided to quit my job and go from commercial into residential. And the commercial side was the admin side. So I was always like the right-hand person to the president of the company. But I got to see firsthand what they dealt with. And for residential, that whole experience process, I thought there's got to be a better way. I created a different way where you overly communicate. You are explaining the next steps. You're making sure that every question is answered. They're satisfied. So
you're guiding them.
I'm guiding them through the process, and I'm just cradling them through that process so that they feel protected and loved and supported.
I definitely know some people who still to this day haven't really gotten that because they'll like call me and they're like, "Hey, such and such is happening." I'm like, "Your agent is not telling you this."
You have no idea what stories I hear coming from people. And that breaks my heart. It shouldn't be that way. Biggest purchase, biggest investment. Yeah. And the real estate agent, they are the ones that have the fiduciary duty to be able to deliver. So over the years, it became not just doing what a real estate agent should be doing and communicating that properly and earning their business and their friends and family business, but I actually took it to the next level about 10 years ago and hired on a team concierge. That team concierge does everything client care. We're helping with staging. We're helping to declutter. We're giving them paint color choices. This is the color carpet you should get. I think you should put tile in here instead. All these things, work orders. We've got a book of vendors so that we've already vetted out and would personally use if I needed them. And they would get the work orders done. We get the bids for them. we're dealing with people that have busy lives.
Right.
This is what we do every day. It's not what they do every day.
Right.
We got this dialed in.
Yeah.
So we bring this experience to them, and we just envelop them and take it from there.
Okay. So you give off a very confident aura. Have you always been confident in yourself?
No.
Okay, well, how did you gain this confidence? Where did that come from? Tell me your secrets.
I think it's been, you talked about, you walked in, you saw all the trophies and awards, and to me that's more of validation. At first I felt like an imposter syndrome.
This is when you first started?
When I first started, like, am I really a real estate agent? Am I really doing this? Can I do this? And it was hard to go in front of a group of people and give a speech or a seminar. But it's been 28 plus years, Danny.
Yeah.
So over that, I have definitely become more confident. I know what I'm doing. There's no hesitation. I've got this. And I can teach other people how to do it well. And now I can speak in front of thousands of people on a stage.
Yeah. Like you do. I think I'm still learning how to be more confident in myself, because I felt the same way. 5 years ago, you wouldn't have got me on the stage at any gala or wearing the crowns that I wear or anything like that. So I feel,
see that growth in you.
Yeah.
And I applaud you for that.
Sure. So I think you're watching me.
And you radiate.
Grow. And I'm like, I'm hearing you talk about how you are going through the same thing as me. So it's nice to feel comforted to be like, okay, you've already gone ahead of me and I could just watch you.
I love that. I remember when I first met you, what was it, like 2020 maybe? Was it in the height of the pandemic time?
I think it was 2021. Yeah.
2021.
It was still a thing.
Still a thing. Yeah. You helped me with a charity thing we were doing.
Yeah, at the YMCA in Kent.
Yeah, at the YMCA in Kent. And I was running that called Red Day for Keller Williams. And you came in with your coffee truck.
Yeah.
Cafe de Loba. And right then and there, I knew it. I knew you were somebody special, somebody I had to know. Oh. And I made it my purpose to get to know you more and bring you into my world. But I remember you were a little more shy, a little more meek.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And
I think I was still figuring it out.
Seeing you blossom.
Nice. Oh, okay. Before I start getting my feelings, let's. All right. So, was there a defining moment in your life that you can go back to and say, like, that is the point where I grew? Because I think I had a moment for myself. But go ahead and tell me yours.
Funny enough, it is when my youngest son said, I like trophies. And that's so far from what I want.
Yeah.
It was at that crossroads that I said, you know what, Danny, I'm not going to make as much money. It's not about the money. It's about being able to provide for my family. Enough is enough. I want to spend more time. I'd rather have time versus the money right now. So I got the leverage I needed on my team, and then it became a calling of mine. How do I help my team members become the best they can be and watch them provide for their families and their business grow? And I had time for my family. Yeah. And it was like, wait a minute, I not only am actually more time with my family, I'm actually am making more money because I'm helping to teach my team members how to fish for business and work on their craft. Their business blows up means my business blows up. It's a fabulous thing. Yeah, that was it, the taking off point.
Yeah. So outside of hard work, what qualities do you attribute to your success?
My upbringing, my family. I'm the last of 6 kids, strong family bonds. We all live here locally. Yeah. I have a twin sister, my mom and dad. My dad had he worked for Pacific Northwest Bell and retired there after, decades of business there. But he also had his own company called Johnson Electric that my brothers eventually took over for him. Okay. So that was the entrepreneurial that I grew up with. My mom was the stay-at-home mom, but got into all the committees and helping out with the community and the Italian community that we had. And so I grew up with it. Yeah. And you grew up in Seattle, right? I grew up in Seattle. Okay. I grew up on Beacon Hill. Okay. What is something that you wish people knew about you that they probably don't know? I am very approachable. You don't think they think that? No. Really? I'm painfully aware of that when people will say, I saw you, but I didn't want to come up and talk to you. Like they're afraid of me at this point. I don't know what it is. Do I intimidate people? I don't want to. I want them to know I'm very warm and welcoming, approachable. I would love to have a conversation with you. And I think when you get to a point of certain degree of how much business you're doing and you get on a pedestal. I don't want to be on that pedestal.
Yeah.
I want to be with
Put
everybody.
you there, like mentally. In their
They
minds.
mentally put me there.
So they're projecting. It's not you.
No, I want to be
you.
with everybody.
Yeah.
I want to get my hands dirty with them and be a part of that group.
Because every time I see you, I see people flock to you when you're in a
hope
space.
so. That would be wonderful.
That's how I see you. Would I wait until like a few people have dismissed themselves before I come up? Yes, of course. But no, I think you're very approachable, and I think you're very kind and giving. And yeah, I could see why somebody else might project their own insecurity onto you and think that.
Yeah, I have a lot of real estate agents that, you're answering the phone directly? Is this Rosie? I didn't think I could talk to you. Of course you can talk to me. I want them to know they can approach me.
So I do think that, how do I say this? I have heard other people kind of explain you as larger than life. So, so it's like...
I have eaten a lot of cinnamon rolls, but...
But they're like, oh, that's Rosie. You got to have your stuff together before you go talk to her. So I think that's like... But I was like, okay, I don't know why. I just I heard what they said. I kind of dismissed it. And I was just like, I'm just going to go say hi. So and you're so nice. You're so friendly.
Thank you.
It's
not an act. That's who I am.
That's not the answer I thought you were going to give me, though.
Really?
But thank you for saying that, because I didn't know that about you either.
It makes me feel bad if people think I'm not approachable. That's the opposite of who I am. What did you think I was going to say?
I don't know. I didn't think you were going to say that. I thought you were going to tell me some secret. I don't know. Okay, so
I'm such an open book. I can't even think of anything else.
That's true too. I feel like I can almost ask you anything. Like an appropriate question, of course. But anyways, do you have any advice for me, someone that's following in your footsteps?
I have found such good luck in a coach. I've had several coaches over the years, and they keep me accountable, in check. They have ideas that I may not have even thought of. And I'm always curious, always learning, never be stagnant. So I would give that to you. I love watching you blossom. And that you're putting yourself out there. I think I can learn from you.
Oh. Well, maybe I need one coach, because I do call different people for different things.
And that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Somebody who gets to really know you.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah. Are you volunteering?
Sure. If it's you, yes.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, this is my last question. What do you want your legacy to be?
I have it on a plaque right behind you.
Okay.
I want to inspire others to leave a legacy of contribution.
I feel like that's what I was expecting too. Something about giving back, something about being of service to other nonprofits or just your community in general.
That's it.
I definitely see that, and I feel that.
I love it. I love having that. I have a servant heart by nature, and watched it blossom with my parents and how they brought me up. But it brings me such joy.
Yeah.
Such joy. And the community is important to me. I think community needs each other, inspiring other women to show that they can do this.
Yeah.
They have power.
Bonus question. This may not make it in there, but what's your favorite thing to do each day?
Well, I love time with my family.
Okay. Just spending time with
your
family.
Leave it at that.
Okay.
Whatever that means of time. If it's a phone call or being able to see my boys or...
Do you try to start your day off like that, or?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And end my day like that.
Yeah. I have animals and things like that. So I definitely would say, I start every morning being intentional and speaking to them. And, I know they don't, talk back to me or anything. Not yet, at least. But I'm always good morning. That's the best part of my day is, saying good morning to all the animals.
I love my friends and family time. And I can't... People ask me, what are your hobbies? It pales in comparison to... Can I just sit and chill with my family and friends?
All right. Thank you, Rosie, for being here. It was a pleasure spending time with you.
Thank you, Danny. I loved every minute of it.
Thank you again for listening to Wild Sea, the podcast. Our aim is to introduce you to the amazing people that are overcoming life's obstacles and inspiring others near you. This podcast is a work in progress, so please leave a review with your comments and suggestions. As always, this show is produced, edited, and hosted by yours truly, Danny Smith. Thank you, and see you next time.